Why have I still got spots? My allergic reaction to Christmas should be over by now. Hey guys, I'm making another video, and this time it's a random thoughts video. When was the last time I did one of these? No clue. Do you like my shirt, by the way? I've probably shown it before, but if I remember right, I got this from Whitby in 2022 when I went camping. And as for the zits, I know what's happening. It's these things. Let me just show you. These chocolates, not sponsored by the way. Them. But yeah, turn it around and show that side. And not just them, but the peppermint ones and the orange cream ones as well. It's just that, one, they taste so nice. They're absolutely beautiful. And two, for a pack of 3, it's only £1.25. So I'm not going to say no, am I? I should really, because the amount of sugar in these things is what's causing my breakout. I wonder if I can find out what sugar's in it. 35% sugars. Yeah, shouldn't eat them as much as I do, but anyway. Also, my hair is getting very, very long. I've not had it shaved since January of last year. At least I think it was January. I know it was last year. This is a year's worth of growth. Not so much on the top because it's thinning. I will eventually shave it off. It's just at the moment I'm enjoying having longer hair. I mean, eventually it's going to get to the point where I can't grow it anymore, so let me enjoy it while I can. So you're probably noticing I'm trying to be more into making videos again. So here I am with the random thoughts. Do you know, I'm struggling to say anything else because I don't really know what else to talk about. I should really just talk about things that are currently on my mind. I've started playing Halo Infinite finally, and that game has been getting me so irate. It's ridiculous. There are certain parts of the game where I fly through it and I'm just killing all the bad guys left, right and centre, and then there are other times where I kill a few, I die. Kill a few more, I die. I die. I die. Kill a few, I die. And at that point I'm just like raging, almost quitting. In fact, I did quit on one level where I was just dying over and over and over. I'm like, this is getting me too mad, I need to turn it off. When I started it again the next day, it didn't put me back where I was. It had put me on the other side of a building. I didn't know that at the time, and so I got confused as to where I was and who I was fighting, and so I kept just dying straight away. And I'm like, until I got my bearings, and I'm like, right, I know where I am, I know who I'm killing. And I'm still trying to get into it, but since I've started playing that, I've stopped playing Watch Dogs 2. I mean, I finished that months and months ago, but there's like online missions that you can do, and so I keep doing them over and over, but it gets a bit boring because it's the same stuff over and over and over. It's the same with GTA Online. I was getting bored with that until I discovered I could buy a flying vehicle called the Avenger, and that's brought out some new missions, and it's a tough cookie, so I could go around shooting other players who keep shooting me. So, I did get irate one day. Somebody, well, two other players had cornered me on a beach. They'd blown me out of the sky, so I had no way of getting off the beach, and they just kept shooting and shooting, and I kept dying and dying. It wasn't until I realised that I should quit being a motorcycle club president and go into passive mode, and then I could just walk off, which is what I've started doing every time somebody does that to me. And I've also got the emoticon where it goes. So when they're like trying to shoot me and they can't get me, I'll just go up to them and go. So I find that funny. But yeah, like I said, I'm playing Halo Infinite. What else? I'm watching a lot of television. I could talk about TV and what I'm watching. It's going to be a long video if I do. Ah well, whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about because I can't think of anything else. In my infinite wisdom from years and years and, well, I'd say decades ago, I used to write lists of all the TV that I've got, all the movies that I've got, and put them into sections, and I'd follow them and watch them in them. Like right now, I say right now, it's been going on for many a year where I'm watching them year by year, and I'm currently on 1998. So I've been watching films like Lethal Weapon 4, which I love, Lost in Space, which has really dated, honestly. I even watched Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and I thought, I'm not going to enjoy this film because I think I only watched it once years and years ago. I actually enjoyed it. Go figure. And of course TV shows I'm currently watching are like Friends, which is going to be a lot harder to watch these days because of Matthew Perry passing. That really got to me. I'm watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager. Just started watching South Park from the beginning. There are other shows. So maybe I should go through the whole TV process that I go through. I've got lists within lists. I've just talked about one list. That's a byproduct of a pile. I will get to that. I'm really outing myself as a nerd, aren't I? Oh well, whatever. Just picked up my lists. Literally, I have lists. Okay, so I usually start, where's this list? This is the first list. The list of streaming services that I go through before I get onto my pile. Which starts with, and it's only just recent, well I say recently started, in November, BBC iPlayer. Because they decided to put all of Doctor Who that they've got, apart from the first episodes because of some political reason. I don't really know what's going on there, but every single episode of Doctor Who they've put up. So I started watching the first ever series from 1963, and yeah, some of that is a bit dodgy. Not the sets, but the acting. I do realise though that back in that time they had to do it as quick as possible, so they had like basically one take to do a whole scene. So some of the actors are stumbling over their lines or recorrecting themselves. Recorrecting or just correcting? Yeah, like that for example. Especially William Hartnell, but it is my understanding that he was ill at the time, and that's why he ended up leaving the series in, I think, series 4. But what I've been doing is, like, because they did them in serials, so not food cereal, they showed episodes, they were 25 minutes each, once a week, and it was like a continued story through, like, sometimes it was just 2 parts where one of them was just talking all the way through, and it really bored me to death, honestly. And sometimes they're 6 episodes long, and so what I do is I watch a whole story through, and I'm actually on to the last one, which I believe 2 of the episodes are animated, because when they lost episodes of Doctor Who back in whenever it was due to a fire, but a lot of audio tapes or audio recordings were saved or elsewhere, so they've been animating them, which is good. So I sit and watch BBC iPlayer just to watch Doctor Who. I've stopped myself from looking at any other shows because I watch enough as it is, as I'm about to show evidence of. So once I've watched a serial of Doctor Who, I move on to Disney Plus, which I enjoy, but I've noticed sometimes when they update it or reset it or something, everything you've got in your continue watching list disappears, and so you don't know what you're watching. So I've had to construct a list of the shows that I'm watching right here so that I know what it is I'm viewing. For example, 911 Lone Star. I was watching 911, but I finished that season and I'm still waiting for the new one to start. I've actually started watching The X-Files because I'd never watched it when it first came out, and I'm still not really into it. I'm just hoping it gets better. I've been told it gets better, so we'll see. But there's a lot of episodes where I'm just like, and I start playing on my phone, honestly. Don't judge me on this. I know I'm allergic to Christmas, but I do enjoy Tim Allen's Santa Claus character, and so I'm watching that show. But of course, because I'm backlogged on TV shows, I'm still watching the last season that came out at Christmas. Also, another of his shows is Last Man Standing. I never saw that, and so I think I'm on season 4 now, something like that. It's not brilliant, it's not Home Improvement, but I'm enjoying it, I guess. I've also started watching the second season of Loki, and when it comes to Marvel, I'm only going to watch one of their shows at a time because there's just too many, and I ain't got the time to watch all of them at the same time. So I'm currently watching Loki. I was watching The Punisher, but I've been told I'm supposed to watch Daredevil before that, so I've stopped watching Punisher for now. I watched the first season. I've not gone to the second, but I will. Definitely what I'm watching is Futurama, one of my favourite shows. I'm also watching Star Wars The Clone Wars. I'm on season 4 on that one, I think. Some of those episodes are a bit dull. Some are really good. I've just got to the part where Darth Maul's shown up. And yeah, I'm enjoying that. And one other show that I started re-watching, well I say re-watching, I think I only ever watched the last season of when it was out originally, is The Golden Girls. And the first 2 episodes, meh. But honest to God, I got to the 3rd episode, I was laughing out loud. Honestly. And I think I've just watched episode 5 and I'm still laughing out loud at it. It really is a good show. Definitely worth watching if you're into your sitcoms. And that's Disney Plus. I then move on, because I'm doing it in alphabetical order, back to my list. Now TV. I hate Now TV. If it didn't have such good programs on it, I would get rid of it. It's a streaming service that you pay for, yet there's still adverts on it. All the time. Just before you watch a show, adverts. And then they preview some program that they want you to watch. And then you watch the beginning of this show. And then more adverts. More of the show. More adverts. I think there's like 4 advert breaks altogether. And one of the shows, Ridiculousness, that I watch, it's only a 20-minute episode. Same, 4 ad breaks in it. Why? And also, if you don't watch something within a month, your continue watching list just disappears. Because of that, I've had to write another list. My hatred for Now TV doesn't end there either, because with their shows, sometimes there's you can watch until this date. Like what? So, season 32 of Ridiculousness, I had to binge watch. I hate binge watching shows. I like to watch shows, 1 episode a week maybe, or whatever. So, it lasts longer. That's how I used to watch TV shows back in the day when Star Trek Next Generation first came out. That cliffhanger at the end of season 3 was so intense. And I just could not wait for the 4th season, but I did, because that's how I love to watch TV. Anyway, I had to binge watch all of Ridiculousness. Also, I watch all 3 FBI shows, FBI, FBI Most Wanted and FBI International. I was on to episode 8 of all 3 shows, and there's 22 episodes per season, and I had to watch them within 2 weeks. So I had to binge watch, 45 episodes. And the worst part of it is, I recently went on Now TV after that date. They're still there. Oh, I could punch Now TV producers. Anyway, moving on. The shows that I watch on there, and I've actually had to write down the episode number of the season and the episode number, because it's got to the point where they've disappeared from my continue watching list, and so I'm having to flick through the episodes to try and find which one I'm on, and I can't remember because of the description isn't very good. So I start playing it and I have to go through the adverts first, and then it starts playing and I'm like, no, I've seen this one, move on to the next. So I started doing that. One of the shows I'm watching is called From. It's kind of like Lost, but not as good. And it's got to the point where I want to know what's actually happening, as opposed to stop watching it. The Conners, the sequel to Roseanne, it's a lot better without Roseanne, I have to admit. Never mind the Buzzcocks, the aforementioned Ridiculousness, now on to, I think it's season 33. Saturday Night Live, I know it's not a show people love, well, Americans do. It's one of those shows where sometimes it's funny, most times it's not. apart from Weekend Update, that is always funny. But I love the guests that they have on there. Brassic, absolute British classic TV series. You must watch it if you don't. It is so funny. The Lazarus Project is actually pretty decent, and I've just started watching Ted, the prequel series to the movies, and I refuse to watch anything else on there because that list is too long. Anyway, once I finish watching them, I go on to Paramount Plus. I love Paramount Plus. Now, before I go on to why I love it, for a long time I've been wanting to watch it on my Xbox, and they wouldn't put it on there, so the only way I was able to watch Paramount Plus was through my laptop connected to my TV, and connecting that all the time was just a bit of a ball ache, so I didn't really watch much on there. It'd be like, even though I'm paying a monthly subscription, it'd be like 2 months before I watch something, and you know, I get an email saying your payment's gone out. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about Paramount Plus. Thankfully now it's on the Xbox. My love of Paramount Plus is because there's so many fantastic stuff on there, but the continue watching so far has never disappeared on me, even when I've had that 2-month break between episodes. In fact, I know it's so good because last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year I watched Halo, the first season, and it's been months since that finished, and they've just started showing the second season. What showed up in my continue watching? The first episode of the second season of Halo, and I'm like, wow! Even Disney Plus doesn't do that. So I'm currently watching, obviously, Star Trek. I've finished Strange New Worlds. I'm currently on the 4th season of Discovery. Loving it. Yeah, Strange New Worlds was fantastic, by the way. Yeah, Discovery, season 4 I'm currently on. Season 5's coming out soon. Aforementioned Halo. Star Trek Lower Decks. I've just finished watching the 2nd season of that. I'm about to start the 3rd. And also Frasier, the new one, which I don't think is as good as the last Frasier show, or Cheers for that matter, but it's okay. It amuses, gives me a little chuckle here and there. Oh, and I did watch a series called No Escape, but it was again one of those shows where I wasn't really enjoying it, but I wanted to know how it ended, so I ended up watching all 8 episodes. I don't recommend, unless you like your mystery type shows that keep going back and forth on the timeline. I don't. But yeah, I've kept Paramount Plus to a minimum for now because of all the shows that I'm watching, because here's where it gets complicated. The next after Paramount Plus is TVR, which is my TV recorder. I am currently watching programs that I recorded in September. That's how far behind I am. Only because I've been recording all of the Impractical Jokers that they were showing, and there were like 8 episodes a week. So that sort of stunted it. I've just yesterday finished watching them all. So now it's like, at the moment, the episodes I'm watching, because I'm watching them weekly, or as they've got recorded weekly. So currently I'm watching Young Sheldon, which is 2 episodes, and Mrs. Brown's Boys, which is 1 episode. So there's like 3 programs to watch at the moment. So I'm kind of thinking maybe doing it bi-weekly to try and catch up, because there are so many shows I've got recorded that I need to watch to catch up on. Anyway, because I've gone on to TVR, once I watch a week of that, I move on to a film that I've recorded on there. And some films I recorded from 5 years ago that I'm currently watching, maybe 4 years ago. In fact, last night I watched for the very first time Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It was pointless. I don't know why they did it. We already know what happens. I mean, some of the fight sequences were spectacular and it was very colourful. It was just pointless. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but other films I've recently watched, because again I have a list. This is just one of them. There's another one over there that I'm filling up as I record films. I've watched recently World War Z. Didn't rate that much. The Great Wall. Oh god, how bad was that? But yeah, I've got a whole list of films that I need to watch at some point. And so once I watch a film off the list, I move on to my pile. This is where it gets weird. Or weirder. Right, just brought my pile over. Don't want to spoil it. Okay, so the first thing is actually a new one to the pile, is my own DVDs. I actually made another one yesterday to replace this one once I've watched it. However, my printer's been acting up, so I don't know how long that's going to last for. Then I move on to my original list, the one that I said I'm watching like year by year at the moment. So look, it's a VH. This is known as a VHS video. You take it out of its sleeve and you put it in the video recorder, and then it won't play it, so you have to take it out and put it back in again a few times, and when you realise it won't play on that video recorder, I take it out and put it in the other video recorder. Anyway, it's true. What am I watching on this one? Because there's 3 films on here and I can't really see what they're saying. Mafia. I'm not looking forward to watching that, because the last time I think it's a spoof film of Mafia films. I'm not a big fan of that, of Mafia films, so yeah, it might be the last time I watch it. And then on the next part of the pile is a new, I nearly did quote marks there, a new DVD which I've got a big pile down there of that I need to get through. Stargirl Season 1. I'm actually looking forward to it because I've never seen it. I've just recently watched the first season of Doom Patrol, and bloody hell is that great. I loved it. Within first 2 episodes I'm just hooked, and I binge watched it. I don't like binge watching things. I binge watched that right to the end. It was fantastic from start to finish. I doubt this will be as good, but we'll see, or I'll see. And then I move back onto my 1998 list for the next film, which is The Mask of Zorro. Love this film. It's a really good film. And then I go back onto another new DVD, except this time it's a Blu-ray, and I have seen this and I love it. Zack Snyder's Justice League. How long is it on for? It's a long one, I know that. 242 minutes. I'm going to have a day off to watch that. And then back to my 1998 list, which is what we're watching on here. Yeah, The Negotiator. Samuel L. Jackson film, if I remember right. And then onto another new DVD, Jumanji 3, The Next Level. And that's my pile. And then I go back to BBC iPlayer. So now you know how much of a nerd I really am. And it does evolve at times, it changes, but there's always a pile. Always. Because I've got that many new DVDs. In fact, if I remember, I'll show you the pile that I've got. It's almost 3 shelves full of new DVDs. That's how bad I am when it comes to buying DVDs. I mean, you probably can tell from the shelves. In fact, if I remember, I'll show the shelves as well. Like all the films and all the TV shows that I've got. And, you know, at some point I'm going to have to go through them to find the ones that I don't want anymore and get rid of. Like I said on my movie, my Smecris review, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. I recently rewatched them to get rid of. I want to rewatch Heroes, which is in another pile on the side. Before I get rid of them, I just haven't found the time to start watching them because I'm watching all of these on my lists and piles. Shall I name this video I've Got Piles? No. I might just call it lists and piles or something daft like that. I don't know. Anyway, I think I've rambled on way too much already. It's time to end the video. So all that's left for me to say now is thank you for watching and subscribing if you have, and liking this video if you did. Until the next time, peace out. And if you feel like there are other shows that I should watch that you guys would recommend, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And please don't judge me on how much of a nerd I am. Thank you. I'm such a nerd.